And on this very timely Kimchi Day, the special day, you have mouth-watering coverage for us today?
I brought a very exciting news, also a very important element about Korean culture today, which is food. And more specifically, Korea today celebrates Kimchi Day, which is November 22nd here. And as a foodie, I went to check out everything about it, from the making process to its nutritional significance. Kimchi. A traditional Korean side dish made from fermented vegetables, mostly napa cabbage or radish. It's a staple for Koreans and often seen as a representative food of the country. But now, more and more foreigners come to enjoy the unique Korean dish. This Kimchi Academy in Seoul offers the opportunity to experience making the entire process of kimchi, from preparing the ingredients and mixing it into the final product.
When we travel, we like to do some cooking classes because cooking is just such a cool reflection of culture in a particular area. And it's hard to think of something that's more Korean than kimchi.
And learning how to make handmade kimchi was really a very eye-opening experience. Yeah.
The instructor said she's very proud to see foreigners come enjoy the value of the traditional dish.
Before the pandemic, a lot of visitors from Asia came to make kimchi. But after COVID-19 and with the spread of Korean culture, more visitors from around the world have come and shown interest.
It's a dish on the table almost every day for Koreans, but what's the significance behind consuming it?
For a lot of people these days, it's difficult to consume food with vegetables in it. But one way to obtain minerals and vitamins is through kimchi. Because it is composed of so many ingredients, it contains probiotics, anti-cancer bacteria, and antioxidants.
Kimchi pleases palates and is full of nutrients. But the process of making kimchi is what makes it even more Korean.
Food has become a big part of understanding Korean culture. Kimchi is not just a dish, it is a dish that bonds people together and unites them and solidifies communities. And it's probably the most important dish for the Korean nation.
This vegetable-based dish is the essence in fostering Korean culture, not only for those Koreans living abroad, but also for those who are getting to know about Korea.
So, Sung-jin, I saw that you also saw people making kimchi themselves, and it seemed like they were making the napa cabbage kimchi, which is the most simple version, although I don't want to say simple because I'm not really good at making kimchi, but...
Right, perhaps maybe the most basic version instead of the most simple version. But as you said, the one in the footage was actually napa cabbage kimchi, which is probably the most basic one, as I just mentioned. But as the kimchi making instructor said during her class while I was attending, there were basically countless variations of kimchi that can be made. Some of the other types include cucumber kimchi or gat kimchi, or also known as mustard leaf kimchi, water kimchi, and just so many more. As ingredients are not limited, it's basically, you can make it with anything else pretty much. And recently, I don't know if you guys know, but there's this type of variation of grape called muscat, and they also made it out of kimchi with that fruit as well.
Oh, I haven't tasted that yet, but we do see various kinds of versions of kimchi these days. Also, many like short videos where people show their own varieties of kimchi.
Yeah, well, I really do want to taste this muscat kimchi as well. It sounds delicious. But then how do we exactly make this kimchi? Because I know that now we are around the kimchi making season, or it's just a little bit earlier now. So how do we make it exactly?
Right, so kimchi's basically been made over centuries for the past couple hundred years here in Korea. And the reason they began to make kimchi is to not only store it and eat it during the winter, but they also used to make it so they can have it for a longer time. And this process is called Kimjang. Normally, it will be stored in large earthenware fermentation vessels to prevent it from freezing during the winter months and to keep it cool enough to slow down the fermentation process. Now less so, but the whole village, or at least the whole household, used to participate as well.
Right. Now, Sung-jin, we touched upon this briefly before when we connected to a K correspondent in Canada when we talked about kimchi a little bit abroad. So we can proudly say that kimchi is one of the leading food items that are being shipped overseas, right?
Absolutely. Out of all the food that Korea can offer, kimchi is probably one of the most representative ones. Kimchi saw a record high figure for exports last year, which is more than 44,000 tons being shipped to around 90 countries around the world. In 2016, that figure was only 23,000 tons, so it's a big jump within less than 10 years. Experts say that the figure is expected to reach a record high again this year. But what's more surprising is the fact that Kimchi Day is actually celebrated in other places outside of Korea. Argentina, Kingston Borough in the UK, and some states in the US, including California, New York, Washington, D.C., also have their own Kimchi Day to promote the Korean traditional dish. So there are more efforts outside of Korea that are being done as well.
I think this is amazing that we're having a day of Korean food being celebrated abroad. And I think that is also because there are so many, healthy reasons for that, because this is a fermented dish. So yeah, I hope we're going to see this expand further.
I just think it's interesting that kimchi is a celebrated day, actually. Yeah.
Of course it is. And I mean, we are not really celebrating any foreign food the way we are celebrating kimchi in Korea. So seeing this abroad is amazing, I have to say.
Right, and out of all the food, kimchi is the first food to be celebrated as a national day from Korea. So I feel like it holds a lot of significance for the food itself, but also as a representation of Korean culture.
Definitely. So very meaningful coverage today, Sung-jin. We're looking forward to your next report.
Again, it was a pleasure to be with you guys.
And happy Kimchi Day.
Happy Kimchi Day, guys.
Kimchi Day.